Welcome back to Smart Tech as we continue our discussion on how we can revolutionize the last mile delivery in Uganda. And we're looking at doing this using electric bicycles. For example, where these ones are not the normal traditional bicycles, but they are electric, which means it saves a lot of time and a lot of costs are saved. Now, as we continue to dive in, you mentioned what is the name of the Motive. Is it where you guys are actually building these bicycles from, or actually, where is the manufacturing place of this?
So we assemble our bicycles locally. So we do a bicycle and battery assembly at Motive, and we also do our design from the same location. Yes.
So I just wanted to know, are there any notable success stories of these electric bicycles?
One, we've managed to increase the earnings of our riders. Some of our riders were initially earning about 80,000 shillings a week. We've managed to increase those riders' earnings to about 300,000 shillings a week.
So you're not only actually helping them, but you're actually even trying to create jobs for people.
Yes, and secondly, we've managed to also reduce their costs drastically. So we've managed to reduce their costs of delivery or costs of running the bicycles to a very small fee. So our bicycles can cover 100 kilometers on one charge. And one charge for our bicycles is about half a unit of yaka, or about 500 shillings.
Yeah, we need to talk about, give us these details of how someone can maintain this bicycle, and talking about maintenance. Of course, you're going to tell us about the maintenance and repair kind of system you use for these bicycles. But then they are electric in nature. That means they are chargeable.
Yes.
So you're going to give us those details so that our viewers can know, if I'm to get this bicycle, how will I continue to operate using this bicycle, and the sustainability as well.
In comparison, to travel 100 kilometers on a motorcycle, you need about 10 to 13,000 shillings. So 500, 10,000.
Wow.
Very big, clear difference. Then the parts are really simple. So we've also built our bicycles to be very, very, very simple to maintain. So our bicycles can be maintained from anywhere. So you can take the bicycle to any local bicycle repair shop and buy parts, buy tire, repair puncture. No fancy parts, all the parts are available locally.
In all the stores in Uganda.
One of the best achievements on our end has been, for the past 4 months, none of our riders has come to us for any mechanical maintenance. All mechanical maintenance is done on their own, replacing brakes, just go to any place any mechanic, and this is also creating jobs really, and empowering that mechanic who is repairing bicycles. And then the only thing that we handle is the electrical maintenance. So we only maintain the battery and or repair the battery and the motor. Those are the only two things we cover with our warranty program for 1 year. So when you get the bicycle over a period of 1 year, if anything happens to the battery, anything happens to the motor, we repair that for at no cost.
So this bicycle uses a motor.
Yes.
I mean, I want to understand the electric part of this bicycle.
Yes.
Can you give us depth on, because we're not saying you give us your secrets of how you make these electric bicycles, and then someone out there will say, taking notes and saying, but would want to know, be considering, you have the whole prototype of these kind of electric bicycles. Can you give us some depth on how these electric bicycles operate in terms of, their system, the electric system especially?
So basically what an electric bicycle does is it makes pedaling easier for you. Now, when you go to, when you get the bicycle, it is already set with what would say the ground level. So ground level is this, and then you set your weight as a rider. You set the weight of the bicycle, and that's already preset when we hand it over to the rider. All they have to put in is their weight. Now, according to your weight, according to the terrain you're on, so if you're going up a hill, it will assist you as you ride. So as you cycle, it gives you, it's basically the same as you riding and someone is pushing you from behind. That's pretty much the same feeling. So it basically assists you to cover more distance, and it also enables you get the right amount of assist according to your terrain. So if you're in a hilly place, it gives you more assist. If you're on a flat surface, it gives you a stable amount of power. If you're going downhill, it turns off the battery automatically, which really enables us to have a more software and software-driven system that's more precise in power delivery. That's why we're able to achieve so much range with a very small battery and without a lot of power. Yeah, that's basically how the electric bicycle works. So it detects your pedaling and adds more. So it's like
if you're a slow pedaler, then it's going to definitely give you a charge.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, are there any features that you are thinking of adding onto these bicycles to make them even more excellent for the riders and even preferably beat some few costs that have been a challenge to you as car?
I mean, already we keep improving our bicycles. Some of the things that we've already added are anti-theft features. So the bicycle is stolen, you can report it stolen, and it will detect. It will basically.
They have those alarms. I always see some bicycles.
So it has a smart alarm. It has a software alarm, and it also has GPS tracking. So in case it's stolen, we can easily track it. And we keep on improving the bicycle. Of course, I don't want to make any early announcements of new features, but very soon there'll be a few developments that will make the bicycles even better. Just stay tuned. We're already developing a lot of tech in-house that will enable us make the bicycles even better than they are. Yes.
Just a small thing for people who are watching us, they would want to purchase these bicycles tomorrow. Assuming, how much are these bicycles in the market?
So currently our bicycles start from a price of 3.1 million. But we don't sell the bicycles up front in many cases. We sell them on a hire purchase plan. So a hire purchase plan is basically with a deposit of 500,000 shillings. You deposit 500,000 shillings, and then you pay a weekly amount of between 50 and 70,000 shillings, depending on the model you've taken. Until you own the bicycle. So in about 1 year and 2 months.
Okay. You mentioned depending on the model.
Yeah.
That raises a question of, that means you have different models.
Yes, we have different models according to how much range you want to cover. So we have a short range version and a long range version.
Wow.
So short range is 60 kilometers, which is like the base model. And then long range is 100 kilometers. So we also, within the two ranges, we also have single battery and dual battery options. So some riders want a battery that will help them cover a long distance without having to charge in between. So an all-day battery. But some riders want to have a swappable battery where they can have one charging at home or at the shop or somewhere, and just have a spare battery. So you can either take a single battery option or a dual battery option if you're taking the long range bicycle. Yeah.
No, I really think that, that's really beautiful. You know, actually the idea that you guys thought of, you know, having the short range and then the long range, that is good, because it beats those questions of, you know, timely delivery, because you see most businesses, they wouldn't want to wait so long, and people have the idea that bicycles are a bit, I think they're the slowest means of transportation, and I think what you're doing is, to me, very exciting, because you're trying to wash away that kind of mentality where people think bicycles could be the last resort when it comes to transportation.
So just for your viewers out there, bicycles are making a comeback, and this comeback is electric. So if you've really noticed, bicycle use in most of Africa, and in most of Africa really has been on a sharp decline, mainly because they're being displaced by motorcycles, which are faster and all that. But with electric bicycles, we are giving bicycles a fighting chance by making them electric, which will enable us, I would say, increase the adoption of bicycles, and also provide an asset in between the normal bicycle and the motorcycle. So there's a few people who don't want to move directly from, so many people generally, they don't want to move from a normal bicycle to something that's significantly more expensive to run. So we're providing a smart transition in the middle, and with this, it enables us provide an asset that is both tailored for the youth, is cheaper to run, is clean, so it utilizes clean energy. It's easier to service with local mechanics, and is also supported with a smart financing system that's very inclusive for the riders to be able to afford the bicycle with, you know, an installment payment plan.
You talked about a financing system. That means, of course, when these people deliver, they are paid for, of course, what they have delivered, and also the transport fee. Now, I don't want to compare to Self-Border, but I want to just talk about something that I want to know if you're actually into it. Now, that's like you can see the application for Self-Border. People easily get access to Self-Border because, you know, there's order, and, you know. Now, I'm thinking, if people want to get quick access to these bicycle deliveries, you know, to do away with the motorcycles, for instance, are you thinking of something that can actually help people get fast access in terms of applications, in terms of, tell me, how do people quickly get access to such kind of services?
So we do have a mobile app that basically is used to manage the bicycle. So for technical maintenance, to monitor your battery level, to set all your preferences in the mobile app, for you know, how you want to use your bicycle, to lock it remotely if you want to lock the bicycle. However, we are taking a different approach. We do not want to deliver, to be a delivery company. We are not a delivery company. We are empowering delivery companies. So very soon you'll see a number of delivery companies using bicycles to deliver. Because why reinvent the wheel when there are thousands of riders on Self-Border, thousands of riders on Jumia, thousands of riders on Global, and when there are so many businesses out there that already have motorcycles, pharmacies, dairies, supermarkets, that already have their, you know, assets that they use for delivery, why not make some of those electric bicycles? And for those short distance deliveries, even long distance deliveries, they can use electric bicycles. So we are providing the tools to these businesses, and eventually you'll be seeing a lot of adoption of our bicycles through different e-commerce companies and businesses that are in the process of taking this on.
But what is that major objective of these electric bicycles towards the transportation industry?
So one, we want to make transportation cheaper, we want to make it faster, and we want to make it cleaner. And while doing all that, we want to create at least 10 million jobs in Africa through this whole ecosystem. So who is assembling that bicycle? Who is assembling that battery? Who is repairing that bicycle? Who is riding the bicycle? Which business is delivering through that, using that bicycle? And with the aggregation of all this, you're creating growth at every point. So the more bicycles we have, the more assembly of bicycles, the more assembly of batteries and motors, the more the more riders we can have using the bicycles to deliver, the more mechanics we can have repairing the bicycles, and the more businesses we can have using those bicycles to deliver to their customers, and also achieving a lot of growth of their businesses through using cleaner, cheaper transportation options. And at the end of the day, everyone is happy.
I was when I was thinking about the whole idea of electric bicycles, I'm imagining, is your vision to see the whole of Kampala city, people move in traffic with bicycles, and oh my god, like it's a crazy thought when you think about it. The way you can go to Kampala city and there are motorcycles everywhere. I think is that your vision, like to actually see so many bicycles or cars out there doing transportation, doing delivery services, and then you look at them and you're very proud. Is that your vision?
Our vision is more towards unlocking economic value for Africa. It's not just putting bicycles out there. It's more about what the bicycles can do. Let me give you an example of a person who the only time will actually go into providing these bicycles for people commuting to and from work is, or the only really reason why we would provide this to individuals that are commuting is because when you look at African cities, there's a public transportation challenge. A lot of people cannot afford public transport, and even those who can afford, during peak hours, there's no access to public transportation because of the high the high surge in number of people using these transportation means at peak hours, either in the morning or evening. But let's say, for example, you're going to work in the morning. Do you really want to arrive sweating and tired and all that from riding a bicycle to work? No. And after a long day of work, do you really
want to be on the same
bicycle riding back to work sweating? No. I mean, that's a recipe for mental health challenges and problems, right? So by providing an electric bicycle to just the average working person, it enables this person to commute to and from work without that hassle of riding up a hill and sweating and all that, but also it eases the pressure on the public transportation system, which is not very well developed. But then it also enables just about anyone to use a bicycle to go to work and from work. So it's eventually it will be a tool that can be used by multiple people. But what you're basically saving is time. The time that someone will be waiting at a bus stop for a taxi to Nansana, to Mukono, to wherever they're staying. And this is across Africa. You see a lot of public transportation challenges, both in urban and rural areas. And by providing electric bicycles, that time saved is time someone would have been using as a factory worker to produce more goods, as a person running a shop to work an extra hour, as a person, as a student to study some more. So you're basically creating economic value and not just selling bicycles. I think that's a very biased way of looking at products, because these are not just things. These are bicycles, or we look at a bicycle as a tool for economic and social change, which is meant to provide value both to people and to economy.
I just want the story for my viewers, and then we can finish. But the story, I asked this question sometime back when I was with you sometime, I think at Innovation Village. But this question I'll repeat, because these viewers need to know and be inspired by your startup. It's a very, very motivating startup for any entrepreneur out there. Why bicycles? Because you see, very many people are so much interested in cars, in fast-moving motorcycles, in airplanes and jets, and their interests are very far. But then when you come back and narrow all those interests to a bicycle, because people in Uganda here especially, they think bicycles are for people in the village and people who do not, have interest in things like technology. But why bicycles? Why? Of course, I really want that inspirational story of why did you choose to say, you know what? Let's go into bicycles? Why?
So interestingly, this all started because I was a delivery man of the home. As the last born at home, I was always the one that everyone would send to the shop to buy sugar, salt. So I was a mini Jumia or Glovo or whichever e-commerce platform you guys use to get groceries or to get products delivered to your home. And I used to do all this on a bicycle. Because I had my little bicycle, so I would go, my mom would send me, my brother would send me, my sister would send me to the shop, and it was more pleasant riding to the shop because the bicycle made that trip easier and faster, and riding back. And it was zero cost. All I had to do was eat food. But growing up, I loved cycling. And from that inspiration of actually being the delivery man of the home, I decided, what can I do for basically delivery riders who are using motorcycles, and what asset is that can make delivery cheaper for a lot of small businesses. So when I was young, there was no, where we were staying in Mutundwe, there were no supermarkets and malls and all that. There were small neighborhood shops. So eventually, one of the things that inspired me was what is that one delivery asset that can empower someone to create value at the last mile, to go to a neighborhood shop, pick up something for a very low for a very low fee, deliver it to a customer, and do that as many times as possible. So lowering that delivery charge, which is often very high for motorcycles, was definitely a challenge. And I think lastly on that point, when you a lot of people eat Rolex, right? If you wanted that Rolex delivered to you, in many cases, if you're buying the normal Rolex, not the one that went to international schools that has all kinds of fancy things, if you're buying the normal Rolex, which is about 2,000 Uganda shillings, in many cases, the delivery fee for that Rolex will be higher than the cost of the Rolex.
Yeah, sure.
If you're using a delivery service. So imagine how many youth making Rolex, And imagine if all of them had access to a delivery asset or a delivery rider that's using an asset that can enable you deliver a Rolex for a fee lower than the cost of the Rolex. I mean, it really comes from wanting to make life easier, wanting to democratize access to this new technology, but also seeing an improvement in something I've seen ever since I was a kid, which is, delivery and bicycles and small retailers and entrepreneurs that need to step into the future and move with the times, while also being sustainable, while also being affordable, while also being profitable. Yeah.
There you go. That is Geoffrey Mutabazi's story of why he started Kara, the love, the passion that he had for these bicycles. He started when he was a child, and now he has electric bicycles all over Kampala city. We are pleased. I'm sad that this conversation has to end because of time, but we are going to bring you more episodes of Kara because people may be asking, how do they need to see these bicycles, you see? So I'm going to arrange with Mutabazi and we see how to show our viewers these bicycles so they can see them physically, and even those who want them, they are at simply 3 million shillings, yeah? 3.1 million shillings, yes, for the initial starting price. But you can always negotiate and of course have them at installment payments.
Yeah. So we've also, we're also working with a lot of partners to grow access to these bicycles. So to increase access to these bicycles. So very soon you'll be seeing a lot more of them. We've engaged with a number of partners like the United Nations Development Program that has provided us support to increase the number of bicycles we can actually put out on the road. We're working with Motive to basically assemble these bicycles locally, which Motive is a maker space that has access to all these, that provides access to all these tools and space for hardware and creative entrepreneurs. And we're also working with companies like Jumia, companies like Glovo, to basically make their fleets greener and cleaner and cheaper. So we already have riders out there, we already have a lot of support, and very soon we'll have a lot of bicycles out there, and Smart 24 will be the first on the list.
Yeah, sure. We need those bicycles
to see the new. Maybe your journalists can start moving around on electric
bicycles. Oh my God, I can't wait. But guys, electric bicycles are out there. One of the latest advancements in technology is the electric bicycles that are happening. We have electric cars, electric airplane, everything. We want to do away with fuel. We want to do away with these climatic things that are disturbing our climate today. So we have electric bicycles for you guys. Get your electric bicycle, go to work, go see a friend, go see someone, go happen using electric bicycles. You can do this, Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this program today. Thank you so much for watching us. Continue to watch us on YouTube, continue to watch us on, on all social media platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, everywhere. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. We love you. Stay smart, stay safe. Thank you.